the official welcome. Welcome, everybody. Today's class is around 2 of strengthening the legs and integrating them into the core, and we have some really soothing sequences that should feel therapeutic, feel nourishing, but also have the potential to be strengthening if your body's asking for that. So think of it as a full body massage that will give you some opportunities to challenge yourself if the body's wanting. So with that, we can take a quarter turn to the left, extend the legs out, and take your time reclining. So you have this sense of almost like melting. And it's Mother's Day after all, so imagine you're a really delicious chocolate and you're slowly melting onto your yoga mat, but it's not gross somehow. Good job taking your time, Roseanne. You get extra chocolate for that one. Roseanne makes the best chocolate, so it's appropriate that she would do that really well. Nice, Alice. And once you arrive, just feel the connection of your body on the mat. Feel the weight of your body. And just start to notice if there are any areas that you can melt a little bit more, soften a little bit more often around the jaw, the neck, the shoulders, low back. It's okay to wiggle around a little bit. Maybe you're not sure, and sometimes those little movements can help you find something more comfortable that you didn't even know that you needed. Hi, Tammy. Happy Mother's Day. And then as you feel ready, start to notice the breath and the way the breath interacts with the body. So you might feel that gentle pressure in the back of the ribs, pushing down towards the mat effortlessly. Maybe you can even sense the front of the body slightly opening. And with each exhale, notice that sensation that is quite like melting, dissolving, softening, and letting go. And let's pay some extra attention to that experience of softly and naturally exhaling. And as you let go of breath, imagine letting go of all tension in the body. Imagine letting go of all tension in the mind. And then even all thoughts, even the ones that aren't tense. Sometimes those are the hardest to let go of. But they're still limiting, they're still contracting, and we want to connect with our infinite selves, unbound here. As you connect more with your breath, perhaps you notice areas that are able to naturally start to soften as the nervous system relaxes. As any little worries or even those unexpressed energetic feelings inside that can sometimes irritate or provoke Just imagine becoming really spacious, almost like a blank canvas. Anything is possible in this space of your body and beyond. And if you're following along with the playlist, you're welcome to hit play on the first track at any time. Make sure it's set to loop. And then come back to this relaxing Shavasana position and continue to be absorbed by the breath. And then challenge yourself to juggle an additional ball. So you're just as aware, but now you start to add some gentle movement. So just brush the thumb across the pads of the fingers. Feel that really delicate sensation. Allow the backs of the hands to start to roll. Let the backs of the hands roll on the mat, just gently massaging the wrists and the forearms. And then allow those gentle massages to get a little bit bigger so the hands start to flip. You start to notice the connection of the hands and forearms to the upper arm and the shoulders. And then imagine the arms like water. So as you roll here, there's a softness, there's a fluidity, there's an ease. And the next time the palms flip away from you so the chest is opening a little bit, allow the hands to gently slide overhead and reach hands and feet gently apart as if you just woke up in the morning. Give a little wiggle to the fingers and the toes. And then ever so gently start to circle the feet. And be extra gentle here, so there's no strain. We're just saying hello to the feet, and then of course everything that gently connects and rotates as the feet rotate. And then let the feet relax and notice if they gently fall out a little bit. That's good. That means you really are relaxing. And then start to point and flex the feet and notice how the whole body responds. And so there's just like a gentle reverberation throughout the body all the way up to the skull. You even get a little massage here in the low back, the back of the shoulders, and the fascia of the skull. And then once again, just pause and relax. And so now, hopefully we're connected, and we can start to dive into our sequence. And so we'll start by dragging the heel, the left heel, up the midline of the body like a tree pose. So the knee starts to fall off to the side. And then open the right arm like a half cactus arm, and just notice that sort of symmetry between the leg and the arm. And then slowly bring the knee and the arm towards one another for our half bicycle from last week. And then extend the leg straight out, arms straight out. So you're back at the beginning. And now we'll join leg and arm at the same time. So the knee opens and the arm goes to cactus simultaneously. and then they cross the midline, gently peel up to that half crunch, and then extend everything out. And do this a few times on your own, and instead of thinking of it like a crunch or a bicycle, try to move as smoothly as possible. So there's really a sense of ease in the joints of the hip and the shoulder. And the next time you extend, pause there, point the left toe. Pay attention to the left leg, because when we flip, I want you to notice this is the same side. We're just crunching. So lift the left leg, cross it over the right, ever so slowly start to roll over the right side. And so now it's that same left leg that's going to bend. And just take a couple of pulses with the left leg, lifting the sole of the foot towards the ceiling, and try to keep the pubic bone down so the pelvis doesn't tilt forward when you do this. You might notice the glutes engaging a little bit extra when the pelvis is fixed. And then extend the left leg back and tent the fingertips ever so gently, lifting the heart. Anchor the rib cage down, and without moving the arms, drag the fingers back, and just notice how you can get a little extra lift in the upper chest, especially behind the heart. So you really want to extend from the upper spine here. And then right arm comes to that same half cactus, bend the left knee, and slowly reach the right shoulder towards the left glute, or the right elbow towards the sole of the left foot. And then extend hand and foot apart. And just take a couple of pulses like that. And the left hand can gently support you, so you've got just a little extra integration. And the next time the arm and leg extend, lower the left leg down, reach the left arm alongside the body, and just take a nice, easy side bend to the left. And then push into the left hand, rolling onto the back, and we'll do it again. So arms are overhead. Take a moment to point the toes, stretching long through the body. And then tree with the left leg and goalpost with the right arm, and then curl up into the half bicycle and take 3 of these as smoothly as you can. Don't worry about straightening the leg completely and lowering it all the way down if that's not comfortable. It's totally fine to keep that tree leg hovering. The next time the left leg extends out, cross it over the body, slowly rolling on to the right. And now that you've got the pattern, we're going to go straight into our Shalabhasana variation. So left leg bends, and then the right elbow peels back, gaze over the right shoulder towards the left foot, and then extend left foot and right arm. And just take a couple of pulses here. Nice and easy. Don't worry about how high you lift. Let it be smooth. And try to feel that connection between the right side of the rib cage, underneath the shoulder, across down to the left glute. And the next time the right arm extends, let the left arm lengthen down by your side so you can take your nice easy side bend, and then push into the left hand, rolling onto the back. Grab behind the left leg and start to kick into the left leg, and take a few kicks here until you feel that connection between the left leg and the core. So if I were to say freeze, you could pause at any moment and feel control. And then eventually come all the way up to seated, bend the left knee and twist into the left leg. So away from me, and just take a moment to anchor down into the sits bones, lengthening up from the bottom of the spine. The gaze can come back if that's comfortable. And then lift the arms and untwist to the right. Plant the right hand. Bring a little extra weight into the pinky side, and just take some bounces to warm up your shoulder. Let the elbow be springy and let there be a nice rebound here. So you're starting to integrate the arm into the shoulder. Notice the back of the shoulder, the front of the chest, and make sure there's no tension in the neck when you do this. The next time you bounce up, you can return into that twisting position. And we're just going to play between those two aspects of twisting into the leg and then starting to push into the right arm. Once the right arm feels warm, you are welcome to push down into it to lift the hips. But if your shoulder's feeling sensitive, feel free to just stay with the bounces. Or to just push into the arm and open, twisting open and holding statically for a moment. So we'll do this one more time, twisting into the leg, doing whatever variation open-wise. And then bend the right knee, tuck the right foot underneath the left leg, and start to push down into the right hand so the hips can lift a little bit. And take just a couple of pulses like that. So Alice, I'm not sure what happened, but you should be facing me. It might be easier to follow if and so start to notice how pushing down into the knee and the hand integrates the right side of the body. And then place the hips down, drop the knees and swivel to the right. Push into the hands and let the knees swivel to center and back to the side a couple of times. And you can hold like that, or if it feels safe, the next time the knees swivel to the left, you can allow the left hand to lift and then drop the knees in the hand and swivel them the other way. And so a few options. Hands can stay down or one lifts at a time. And then come to center, drop the knees, flatten the feet, press the hips to the heels, and melt the forehead. And just take a few breaths, just checking in on the body. Notice any sense of warmth, tingling. Push down into the shins and slowly guide the hips forward so the vertebrae stack one on top of the previous. Hands drag back as the front of the body opens slightly, and then draw a big circle with the arms. And once they make it overhead, flex at the hips, sending hips towards the heels, and then drop the arms so the hips go forward and the arms go back. Once the arms make it to the top, send the hips back, kind of like a chair pose experience, but you're kneeling. And then repeat this baby camel variation. So not a whole lot of heart opening, but just feel the front line of the body integrating and connecting. You can push down a little extra on the knees. And the next time you lift, pause there, reach the arms back, and keep everything integrated, but now no back bend. So the space between the ribs and the pelvis should stay the same as you start to extend through the quads. Just strengthening the quads by tilting backward, and we can make this a little more dynamic. The next time the body reaches back and you start to float forward, drop the arms. So there's a sense of opposition. So as the body floats back, the hands reach forward, and then everything comes to the middle. Don't worry about how far back you go. Rather, notice that sense of control through the fronts of the thighs, really allowing you to go backward without extending the spine. The next time you float forward, shift the weight into the left knee, step the right foot forward, and then lift the arms. Push into the feet, lengthen the heart up, drop the sits bones, and start to bend to the side. So anchor a little extra through the left knee and feel the left side of the body opening. Drop the right arm and come back up to center. And now we'll make it a little more dynamic. And I'm going to turn just so you can see me. So as you side bend, the right arm will come back up. And then as you come to neutral, the arm will drop. And I say this, I think, in every pose, but don't worry about depth here. You really want to feel the integration through the left side of the body. So you really feel like, oh wow, my knee is connected to the side of my thigh, up to the side of my core, all the way up to my arm. A nice, smooth, even curve, nothing jutting out. And the next time you come back up to center, lift both arms, melt them to a big W, and start to twist into the right leg. And so as you twist, feel the muscles on the right side of the body engaging, and use that strength to gently shift the weight into the right foot, extend the left leg, and then push into both legs to slowly come back up. So the more you twist into that right leg, the easier it should feel. And then recenter, drop the arms, and we're not going to lower the knee all the way down, but start to bend the left knee. And let's shorten our stance a little bit so that you really feel springy and there's no strain. Yeah, that looks great, everybody. And now the next time the left knee drops, lift the left arm up. And then as the left leg extends, drop the left arm. And just take a few pulses here and notice that sense of as the left knee drops, this lengthening through the whole left side of the body, and then a shortening through the whole left side as you come back up. Don't worry about going very far, especially if your knees sometimes give you trouble. We really want to feel very strong and connected here. And the next time you come all the way up, pause, press into the feet, reach the right arm up, and then ever so gently bend the front knee, melt the body forward until you can plant the left hand underneath the left shoulder, and then slowly sneak the left knee down between the hand and the foot. Set the hip down, extend the left leg, extend the right leg, and just pause for a moment upright. Notice the sensations in the left side of the body. We've done a lot, beginning with our crunches and ending with our lunges. And then before we recline onto the back, feel free to have a sip of water. I seem to already need water. And then we'll go through that on the second side. So bend the left knee, grab behind the left thigh. And this is kind of fun. Kick into the hand just enough that you can start to recline without falling. So it's this challenge of pushing and pulling the same amount with the leg and the hands. And this first round you might fall a little bit, and that's okay. It'll be a fun experiment each time we do it, if you can have a little bit more control and ease as you make your way down. And once you make your way down, arms and legs extend to a long line, and we just pause for a moment before the second side. And we'll begin with the right leg. Let the right knee point off to the right side and slowly drag the right foot up the inner thigh for your reclined tree. And then pull the left elbow down for half goalpost and cross arm to leg for our half bicycle. Extend everything back out. And now hand and leg can go at the same time. And then cross the body and extend, and do this a couple more times on your own, moving as smoothly as possible and starting to feel that space from the right hip to the bottom of the left rib cage shortening as you crunch diagonally. The next time everything extends, lift the right leg up, cross it over the body, and then slow motion, let that right leg pull you over the left side of the body. And so now it's the right leg that we're paying extra attention to. So we'll start by just bending the right knee, anchor the pubic bone down, and then just lift the sole of the right foot a couple of times, engaging the right glute. But you don't have to think about it. It should just naturally fire. And then extend the right leg out, tent the hands and push into the fingertips so the shoulders are nice and strong. Anchor the rib cage down and traction the fingertips, dragging the floor towards you. And just notice if the upper vertebra can lengthen in just a little tiny micro back bend. And then bend the right knee, bend the left elbow, and slowly C-curve to the left, gazing over the left shoulder. Maybe you can see the right foot. Extend everything out and just take a few slow pulses here. Really try to feel the whole body working together. So noticing where the arm and the leg connect, that cross behind the body. And the next time you lengthen everything out, let the right hand touch the right thigh and gently curve to the right. Press into the right hand, roll over the left side of the body, lengthen everything out, and we're back at the beginning. So we'll start with 3 of those half bicycles. So right knee, left elbow, and then cross. Lengthen. And try to keep the pelvis anchored. You might notice you don't have as much range of motion in the hip as you do that, and that's fine. That's going to build a lot of strength. Of course, we don't want any pain. Next time, right leg lengthens, cross it over the body, rolling onto the belly. We'll skip just the leg lift and bend right knee, left elbow, and slowly C-curve to the left. You can also bend the right elbow. That actually feels really nice, both arms in goal post. And then lengthen the left arm forward, right arm back, and just take a nice easy curve to the right. Plant the right hand, roll over the body, grab behind the right leg, and just take a few kicks. Take your time bending the knee and kicking it forward so the hamstring can engage to start to support you. You might notice that it gets easier over time. And once you feel ready, you can come all the way up to seated. Bend the right knee, twist into the right knee, push down into the pelvis, and just feel the bottom of the spine leading the way in the twist, and everything follows on top. Gaze to the right. And then untwist to the left, anchor the left hand, and take some springs on the outside of the left hand. So if your hand had a horseshoe, from the pinky to the thumb, most of the weight, almost all of the weight would be in that horseshoe. We've got the most padding there. We've got the most muscular support, connects to the muscles all the way up the arms into the chest and the back. So we really want to capitalize on that. And then when you're ready, you can twist into the leg and untwist, either bouncing or starting to push into the hand to lift the hips. So we'll just pulse between those 2 poses, and of course you can stay down if the shoulder doesn't want that extra work. The next time you pulse open, lower the hips, bend the left knee, placing the foot behind the right foot, and then push down into the left hand, drop the knees, and swivel to the right. And now you've got the options. You can just do knee swivels, or you can add in the hands. And what's really interesting here is the movement really comes around the shoulder, and the body itself stays pretty integrated. So everything moves together. Nothing twists in the ankles, nothing twists in the knees or the hips. It's all in the shoulder. And then from center, drop the knees, press the hips back to the heels, melt the forehead, pause, connect with the breath. And those little swivels, we can sometimes overdo it in the shoulders. So just notice if there's any sensations in the body of tension or little tingling electric sensations, and maybe just opt to simplify in the next round. And push down into the shins, slowly stacking pelvis and spine, arms sweep back and up, backwards circle. Once the hands make it to the top, kneeling chair pose, send the hips back, and then drop the arms and let the front of the body open. As the hips drop and the arms reach forward, feel the front of the body shorten, and then keep all of that connection as you stretch the heart away from the knees. You don't want to feel anything in the low back. You really want the front of the body to completely support you in your back bend. And the next time you come up, let the arms reach forward. Take a moment to tuck the toes, drop the sits bones. Imagine like you're doing a crunch. You have that much control and support. And then start to lengthen from the quadriceps. So just bend the knees a little bit more. And then when you're ready to add in the arm pulses, as you come forward, the arms drop. And as you lean back, the arms swing forward. So there's just this nice sense of ease. And the next time you shift forward, shift extra weight into the right knee and step the left foot forward. Reach both arms up and initiate this movement by pushing down into the right knee. As you push down into the right knee, notice that sense of the whole right side of the body lengthen. And then push into the left foot to come up to center and drop the left arm. And then we repeat. Push down into the right knee, lift the left arm, side bending to the left, and then drop the arm as you come back to center. And just take a couple more on your own, moving extra slow so you can really feel that subtle activation through the right side of the body that is increased when the left arm lifts. And I'll turn, Alice, it looks like maybe you're trying to see me, I'm not sure, but. Okay, great. And the next time you come up, melt the elbows down to a big W, twist into the left leg so you can feel the obliques engaging. Shorten your stance a little bit so you're at like a 90-90 lunge, and then shift the weight into the left heel, let the right knee lift, and then slowly extend both legs, lift the left arm, and then bend both knees and lift the right arm. And then just pulse between those two movements, and it doesn't matter how low you go, you want to make sure you don't feel any pressure and tension in the right knee as you lower. And so play with widening or shortening your stance. And then really try to feel the length in the right side of the body. As the knee dips down and you reach up, feel that dynamic tension supporting you. And the next time you come up, pause, push down into the legs, reach up through the left arm. And then melt the left arm to the hip, bend the left knee, slowly release forward, plant the right hand underneath the right shoulder, and drag the right knee to the right hand, slowly sit the right hip down, extend the leg through, and then grab behind the left leg. Oh, actually, before you lay down, you can go to the next track. You can have a sip of water, and then when you're ready to lay down, we'll play with that fun experiment of the left leg helping to control your descent. And try to relax and have fun here because I find it quite challenging. Nice focus, everybody. Great job. And once you've arrived, stretch the leg forward and reach the arms down like Shavasana. We won't reach them overhead just yet because I want your shoulders to get a break for a moment, and just let that sequence sink in. Okay, so now we'll go through that again. We'll be adding on in some places, moving a little faster through different things. And just make sure to keep checking in with what your body's asking for. When you're ready, snow angel, the arms overhead, reach hands and feet apart. And then half tree, half cactus. And then half bicycle, actually. Repeat that 3 times as smoothly as you can. And the next time the left leg extends, cross it over the body, slowly rolling over the right side. Bend the left knee, arms to a W, side bend to the right. And now we're actually going to add on. So kick the left leg back, reach the right arm forward, left arm to the side, right into that side bend like we did before. And then bend the left knee, C curve to the right, arms at a W, kick the left leg back, side bend to the left with straight arms. Just do that a couple more times. And then the next time you're side bending to the left, push into the left hand, roll over, grab behind the leg, kick into the leg, coming all the way up into the twist to the left. And then we're actually going to repeat that. So grab on behind the left leg and slowly lower all the way back down. Extend arms and legs, and we go into our half bicycle. You can repeat this a couple of times, or if one's enough, roll over whenever you're ready into our C-curve Shalabhasana. Everything bends to the right and everything extends to the left. And when you're ready, you'll roll over the right side of the body, grab behind the leg, kick up right into the twist. And we'll do it one last time together. Grab behind the leg to lower. Once you know it, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to wait for me. And half bicycle, nice and smooth. And then extend the left leg, rolling onto the belly. Bend the left knee, arms to a W, curve to the right, and then extend everything out as you lengthen to the left. The next time you lengthen to the left, push into the left hand, rolling over, grab behind the leg. Okay, this is our last one, so we'll come all the way up into the twist. And then instead of reclining, we'll untwist to the right, plant the hand, push down into the feet, and lengthen the left arm overhead. Of course, you can do the same thing from round 1 if you don't want to lift up. Twist to the left, and let's add on here. Take the left arm and reach it forward, up, and back. Just nice, gentle twist. And then untwist to the right, same thing. So we'll just play twisting into the leg, and then opening to the right. Last round. And this time, option to keep the hips lifted as you tuck the foot underneath, and you go right into your pulses. And then plant the left hand and take your pulses the other way. And then drop both hands, and we're kind of short for a down dog, so paw the hands forward, one hand at a time, staying bouncy, and then bend the knees, push into the hands to lengthen the hips up, and then just bounce the legs a couple of times so the spine stays long, but you're really nice and springy. And then pause in down dog, and we're going to just add a nice circle with the hips here. So allow the hips to sway to the left, and then slowly circle them forward, center, right, and back. And if that's too much on your shoulder, Roseanne, you can do that from tabletop. And then circle the other way. And the next time the hips are back in down dog, drop the knees. Keep the toes tucked under. Drop the hips. And actually, let's pause for a moment. Pause for just a moment of Bhaktasana. And then when you're ready, heavy sits bones. Press the pelvis forward, slowly stacking the spine, circling the arms up. And then kneeling chair pose, drop the arms and repeat. And the arm circle doesn't have to be very big. So just make sure, almost like you don't want to feel the shoulders too much here. But let it be really natural. Give yourself that permission. And the next time you're up, drop the arms for a moment and we'll prepare for our reverse Nordics. So as think of the body as a plank and slowly bend the knees as you reach the arms forward and then come back to neutral. And just take a few pulses like that, feeling really strong and supported in the front of the body. And then the next time you shift forward, bring more weight into the left leg, bring the right knee forward, and we'll do our side bend. So reach both arms up, side bend to the right, and then drop the right arm as you slowly come up to neutral. Move nice and slow and smooth here. And you really want to feel this happening below the rib cage. So if it's all above the rib cage, come up, take a little crunch to the left, letting that integrate, and then try again. And the next time you're in the side bend, slowly float up, melt the arms to a W, twist to the right to strengthen, shorten the stance if you need to, and then slowly lift the back knee and extend both legs straight up. And so now we're going to go into those lunges. Bend the left knee as you reach the left arm up. Extend legs, reach the right arm up. So there's this opposition happening, and get really bouncy and natural with it. The next time everything extends and you're up, pause here. This is our home base, right? So home base is straight legs and right arm up. And then our movement is bending the knees and lifting the left arm. So just take a couple more pulses like that, and then we'll move on to the next part of the sequence. Let's all meet in home base. It's like we're kids, right? And so now the next movement is from home base. We'll bend the left knee and scissor the arms forward. And then just take a few pulses from home base forward. And keep the weight in the right heel so there's no pressure in the front of the right knee as you reach forward. And let's all meet in home base and then go back to the first movement. So now left knee bends, left arm lifts. Take a couple of pulses. And then when you're ready for a super challenge, you'll go from home base into the second movement. If you want, you can go from the second movement, home base, down to the first movement. And so now we've got a little moment of yogi's choice. If you want to just stay with one movement, you can, or you can start to play with putting both of them together. If you ever get lost, just go back to home base. The next time we reach forward, pause for a moment. Connect with the breath. Feel the breath supporting you from inside. That right leg is probably feeling quite strong. And let's just play with shifting the weight forward a little bit, letting the back leg hover, and then set the back toes down. And let's give the right leg a break by coming back to home base and then lunging into the back knee. Who knew that the lunge would give the right leg a break? And now home base. And as you shift into the second position, option to go right into Vira 3 or keep the left leg down. It's up to you. And then let's all drop the back foot. Take one more moment in home base. Let the legs extend. Catch your breath. And then melt the arms to a W. Bend both knees. Gently twist into the right so you have a lot of support to set the back knee down. You can also lower your hands if that's better. And then walk the right foot forward and wide and let both hands drop inside of the right foot. Take some nice, easy circles with the pelvis, trying to move as fluidly as possible. And then pause at center. Let the left arm go nice and wide. Shift the weight to the left. Circle the right arm forward, up, and back. And as the arm starts to circle forward and up, kick into the right leg, letting it extend any amount. As the arm circles back and down, bend the right knee. And try to resist the impulse to go into your deepest twist, your deepest leg extension. Instead, try to feel how gently you can do this, how much ease you can find in this movement. That right leg worked really hard, or at least mine did. So let this be like a massage. Just letting it relax and soften and release any tension. And then plant the hands inside the right foot, lift the left leg, push into the hands to slowly drag the right leg up and back, just letting it have a nice break for a moment. And then slowly shift forward, bringing the right knee inside the hands for a linear pigeon for a moment, and just wag your tail from side to side. And then let the right hip come down, open off to the side, and just take a nice, easy side bend. Just to let that right hip open, take the weight out of it. Then we'll go back the way we came, plant the hands, roll to linear pigeon. Push into the hands, extend the right leg up. And then slowly shift forward, stepping the right foot wide to that same lunge that we were in. And then drag the left knee forward, place the left sit bone down, and extend the left leg. Extend the right leg. And pause for a moment at center. Take a couple of breaths. And now we'll repeat on the other side. So start by grabbing behind the right knee, slowly lowering down. And then relax the right leg down, relax the arms down, and pause for a moment in Shavasana. Circle the arms overhead, reach long. And now right leg, left arm, cactus tree, and then cross to our half bicycle. Extend everything out. Take 3 of these, keeping the pelvis anchored so the low back doesn't overarch. The next time you reach everything out, right leg crosses the body, and enjoy this moment, right? No need to rush as you get a free massage on the left side of the body. And then bend the right knee, arms to cactus, side bend to the left. Everything bends to the left, and then everything extends as you C curve to the right. Bend to the left, lengthen to the right. And just start to notice that sense of the space between right glute and left shoulder, shortening to the left and then reaching it all out and lengthening it to the right. The next time you lengthen everything to the right, plant the right hand, push into it, slowly rolling over, grab behind the right thigh, kick into the right leg, bend the right knee, and take a nice easy twist to the right. And then grab behind the right leg, and we'll do it again. Slowly reclining, controlling your way down. Extend everything out. Cactus tree into your half bicycle. And let's just do one of those and go right into the roll. And then do one C curve to the left, one side bend to the right, and roll back over. Grab behind the leg, kick into the leg, nice easy twist to the right, And then last one, just one thing in each sequence. So one cactus tree crunch. And then gently roll. One flying shalabhasana. And then we'll all meet seated upward, twisting into the right leg. Let that right arm reach forward, up, and back. And then let it keep circling, but twist open to the left. Plant the left hand. Option to lift if that feels good. And then we go back to the right, circling the right arm. And then as the right arm circles forward, twist open, plant the hand, and reach right knee and right arm apart. Last one. And then option to stay lifted or lower the hips as you tuck the left foot under. Take your swivels to the right. Take your swivels to the left. And then paw your hands forward, press into the hands, and reach the hips up and back. Keep the knees deeply bent. And then play with extending one leg at a time. Start to circle forward into plank with a side bend, and then the other way. And then the next time you're in downward facing dog, keep the toes tucked as you drop the knees. Reach the hips back and push down to circle the arms back and up. Kneeling chair. And then baby camel. I need a better name from baby camel because it feels harder to me than camel. Maybe flying camel. I like that, flying camel. Okay, from flying camel, drop the arms, let them swing a couple times, give the shoulders a little break. And then arms swing forward as the knees bend. Arms drop as you come back to neutral. And we're actually going to add on here because this is the perfect spot to do it. So from neutral, let the right arm start to slide down the right side of the thigh, and then let the left arm slide. We've done a lot of side bends today. So as you do this, try to feel that sense of support from the top side of the body. So whichever arm is not sliding down the leg, feel how strong that side is. And the next time the right arm slides down, pause there. Let the left arm lift and reach overhead so you can really feel how strong that left side of the body is. Stay right there, or if this feels really comfortable and you want a little bit more, let the right fingertips graze the right calf and then come back. Kind of like a pendulum swinging. So we're just playing with an asymmetrical ustrasana here. And then come to center, reach both arms up, and then let the left arm drip down the side of the body going to the left side. And you can stay right there or let the left fingertips graze the calf, but just check in with the low back, right? This might not be for everyone, and so you can just come in and out, letting the left hand slide up and down, or you can start to add in a little bit of a back bend as the left arm reaches back. And then come back to center, reach both arms up and melt the shoulders down. Shift the weight into the right knee. Step the left foot forward. Nice short 90-90 stance here. Reach both arms up, take your side bend to the left. And then as you come up, drop the left arm. Side bend, lift left arm at the same time. And then drop towards center. And just take a couple more on your own. And then next time you lift back up, reach both arms up, let them melt to a big W, twist into the left leg, shift the weight into the left heel so the right knee can float, and then extend both legs and lift the left arm so we're in our home base pose. So slowly start to bend both knees as you swap the arms, so the right arm lifts, and then extend and left arm lifts. Take your pulses and really pay extra attention to the right side of the body, the knee dipping down and the right side lengthening and reaching up. You don't have to go very far. You definitely don't want any discomfort in that right knee. And then let's all meet in home base. So left arms up, arms are extended. Neutralize the pelvis. So let the sits bones get really heavy so the front of the hip is opening. And then we'll go into our second movement. So left knee bends and the right arm swings forward. And then we kick and go back to home base. Let this be really springy so there's not too much effort in the front leg. Doesn't matter how far you go. And then let's meet in home base and go back to our first movement. So back to the lunges. And then from home base, we can go back into that second movement. And then you can play like that, taking a few of each, or take one, go to home base, and switch. So that is definitely the most challenging for the brain, but pretty fun. And you can't do it wrong. As long as you're not hurting yourself, it really doesn't matter what arm is up. The next time you're in position 2, pause there and just play with shifting the weight, letting the back leg lift, reach right hand and right foot apart. And then drop the right foot down and go back to home base. And so let's just take one lunge to give the left leg a break. And now it's up to you if you want to start playing with adding Virabhadrasana 3 in, taking a few pulses that way. So we've got a little bit of yogi's choice where you're playing with the lunge, shifting forward, maybe Vira 3. If you'd like to hold Vira 3, it's our last moment, so give yourself something interesting. And then set the right foot down. Slowly bend the left knee, melting forward, planting the hands down, lower the right knee down, and take some nice, easy circles with the hips. And then bring a little extra weight into the right arm. Reach the left fingertips forward, up and back. Keep circling the arm. Option to extend the leg at the back half of the circle. Bend the knee at the front half. And remember, we're not going for a lot of depth, right? Yeah, you guys look so integrated. Awesome. And then bring the left hand down inside of the left foot. Extend the right leg. Push into the hands. Glide the left leg back and up to three-legged dog. Take a moment to kick that left leg or circle the hip. And then shift forward. Bring the left knee between the hands. Left heel right underneath the body. Just pulse a couple of times. And then slowly, as the hips come back, roll onto the left hip. And open off to the side. Nice, easy side bend to the right. And then roll back through pigeon. Press into the hands, lift the left leg. And now we actually have the option to repeat that. So bring the left knee back to pigeon, roll through center. You can repeat that sequence just like that, or you can go to the other side by bringing the legs into a 90-90, flipping all the way around, and then going into the pigeon on the other side. And so depending on what time zone you're in, what your body wants, you're welcome to just stay in one position or to enjoy this little flow, three-legged dog, pigeon, Parvritajanu Shirshasana, and then the 90-90 switch to the other side. Or anything else that your heart desires. And take a moment to make your way to the second side if you haven't already done it. So that would be the right side, pigeon, etc. And we'll all meet at center. And then I want everybody to have a second opportunity to play with that back bend. So bring the right knee on top of the left and shift the weight so you're kneeling. And then turn towards me just so it's a little bit easier. And take a moment. Imagine that these are your whole legs and you can just walk in place. And just notice if the legs naturally find their way to their most comfortable positioning underneath your hips. Keep the toes tucked under. And let's just lift both arms. Take a side bend to the right and then drop the right arm and increase that side bend. Now let's just go from side to side like that. And then if you want a little bit more, you can allow the bottom hand to glide along the forearm, or the forearm of the leg, so the shin. And if that feels really good, you're welcome to pause with the hand on the heel and let the heart lift and then reverse and go the other way. So we're sort of sneaking our way into a half camel from the side. And just be particularly conscious of your low back. Not everybody can comfortably get their hand to their heel. So if that's the case for you, stay with these nice side bends, these wonderful integrated side bends that we've been working with, and then maybe that hand hovers as you play with opening the heart without any strain. If it's going well, you can stay on one side and take like a helicopter arm, and then come back through center the other way. Nice, Diana. And whenever you've balanced out sides, but you don't need to rush, turn back onto your mat and just drop the hands. Take a couple of barrel rolls with the spine. And just gently melt the hips back, untuck the toes, melt the forehead, and tent the fingertips. Push into the fingertips so that you really have a sense of extending through the whole spine, letting the hips press into the heels or towards them. If you'd like, you can gently melt from side to side. Let the forehead massage along the mat. And then push down into the shins, slowly coming up to seated on the heels. And send the hips over to the left. And just take a nice, easy twist to the left, Bharad Vajrasana. I'll turn. Connect with the breath. Allow the breath to massage you from the inside. And then come back through center, sit off the other way. Nice, easy twist to the right now. Allow the neck to gently circle if that feels good. And then kick the legs in front of you. Bring both sits bones down and just gently massage the muscles around the hips by shifting the weight from side to side. Bring the soles of the feet together, but keep them away from the body. So you've got like a nice big diamond. Tent the hands behind you and just gently bounce the knees as long as that's comfortable on the muscles of the groin. You can stay here, or if the spine wants a little bit more release, you can sway your way forward and tent the hands in front of you. And just keep moving from side to side, rocking the weight from one sit bone to the other. The hands can continue to walk forward as long as you can keep swaying. If you can't sway, it's an indication that you've gone to like your end range of stretch, and we don't really want to be quite at the end range. Make sure you can breathe. And then push into the hands to gently guide your way back up to seated, and just pause for a moment at the top. And then bring the legs in so that we can prepare for meditation. So feel free to pause your music, grab any comfortable blanket, cushion, chair situation. Have a sip of water if the body wants that. And once you've found your comfortable seated position, take a moment to allow the eyes to gently close if that's comfortable. And just like we started class, feel the edges of the body. And feel the breath inside the edges of the body. And that relationship between the movement of the breath and the sensation through the body. And notice if this feels closer or easier to witness or just more accessible after our asana practice. Let yourself relax into this familiar position, making sure nothing is over gripping or feeling tight. You can make any little gentle shifts or wiggles. And in honor of Mother's Day, we'll do a heart meditation, and we'll really work to connect to this sweetest, most nourishing part of ourselves. And so just begin by gently noticing how the breath travels towards the heart. And without forcing anything or manipulating anything, notice how the inhale just naturally expands the heart space in a physical way. And that expansion continues even as the body softens on the exhalation. And so as you feel your body soften while you exhale, keep that sense of openness and notice how those two don't have to conflict. How the heart can be so spacious even as the body subtly contracts. And to help us find this spaciousness, we can visualize the bud of a flower at the heart center. Any flower, any color. Imagine with each natural breath, just like sunlight, just like water and fertile soil, imagine the breath bringing the proper nourishment to this heart flower so it can ever so naturally open, slowly, delicately, without any force, just like a time lapse, just happening in its natural progression. Sometimes it helps to subtly smile with the mouth and just feel that inner brightness that happens. And notice how that affects the heart flower. Enjoy the process of allowing and feeling and visualizing the heart flower opening. And really have a sense of letting go of effort. You really can't make it happen. But if you direct your attention, and you relax, and you wish for it to happen, you can really feel what's possible. And just for fun, you can just offer up that heart flower to your mom or any mother figures, wherever they are. It doesn't have to be on earth anymore. Just offering that love and sweetness and openness. Moms are pretty amazing, so I'm sure they can sense that gift you have given. And you're welcome to stay upright and continue to breathe and work with the heart, you're also welcome to relax in Shavasana. And wherever you are, especially if you're still seated upright, feel that possibility of relaxing really deeply. Letting go of any obstacles inside so that something more nourishing can flow in and support you. Hmm. Just take a moment to allow the breath to deepen in a really gentle way. And make some soothing movements. And if you are reclined, you can make your way gently to a seat. Take your time. And we'll all meet with hands at heart center. And just take a couple of final breaths towards the heart flower and feel that potential that always rests within you. Thank you so much for sharing your practice today. Have a great week, everybody. And whether you're a mom or not, I hope you get to have chocolate today. I know I will. Take care, Roseanne and Diana and Tammy and Alice. So good to see you guys. Aloha.